CTV's Colton Praill joins me now from Ottawa. And Colton, this year the theme is plastics, and in our oceans especially, it is frightening how much is out there.
Absolutely, Roger. 80% of all of the waste in oceans is plastics, an estimated 11 to 14 million tons entering our ocean every year. And of course, you can see the imagery and the impacts of this in things like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. But there's also a very real health element to this as well. There are fish, there are ecosystems in that garbage patch, but in coral reefs as well, where a lot of this plastic goes. And that plastic is consumed by these animals that are then consumed by larger animals, eventually by humans, and it makes its way into the food chain, and what you end up with as a result, where there are a number of microplastics that are now being found in newborn babies, in placenta as well. I mean, as recently as 2020, this is having a health impact on people as well as animals. It's having an environmental impact. It's having an ecological impact. On top of that, when you create plastics, such a positive of them is that they are nearly indestructible. The negative of that is that when you toss them out, they're nearly indestructible, and so they continue to live on. And so that's why we're seeing such a push this year through Earth Day, but also through a new conference that's going to be happening in Ottawa, part of negotiations for a UN plastics treaty that focus specifically on trying to eliminate plastic waste and certainly create an environment where it is more replicable, where there is further enhanced recycling capabilities for plastics as well, because right now so much of that waste is also being mismanaged. It's not necessarily all going to a landfill. In Canada, about 80% of it does, but in areas of Asia and Africa, it can be as much as 66% of plastic waste that doesn't make it to a landfill, that's mismanaged, that's ending up in nature and having ecological impacts and also harming humans as well.
Okay, so they have their work cut out for them if they want to cut it by 60% by 2040.
That's just it. Yeah, this is going to be a stringent negotiation that happens in Ottawa this weekend. 170 countries have representatives who are coming here for a week to try and sign a treaty that would make it so that the world would have to eliminate plastic waste by 2040. That could be a cap on production. It could be a cap on certain types of plastics that find their way into nature more frequently. It could also be things like addressing chemicals of concerns. You may have heard the term forever chemicals before. There are a number of chemical components of plastics that are very pervasive, that enter waterways, that are highly toxic. Think certain types of pesticides and detergents that we use quite frequently in our everyday lives, but have a very significant ecological impact down the line. All of those are things that will be targeted and addressed through this treaty when it comes to attempting to eliminate plastic waste. The goal over the next week is to get about 70% of this document agreed to, so that the biggest ticket issue items, especially plastic production and a cap on that, which is highly unpopular, can be addressed in the final round of negotiations this fall in Korea.
Okay, CTV's Colton Praill, thank you for that update.
Anytime.